Hello, this is a reading for Gemini. Welcome to the table. I've pre-shuffled the cards, but I will give them a little more shuffle. Welcome Gemini, I hope you're well. I'm an intuitive reader. I read in real time. And I read the cards as I see them, as they come out on the day. I use a 10 card spread and then I overlaid those with another 10 cards. When I've spoken about the individual cards, I then pull it together and try and make a whole reading out of what's on the table. Okay, Gemini, one more shuffle and we'll begin the reading. Thank you for being here today. Let's begin. Knight of Cups upright, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, 8 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Swords upright, 7 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles upright, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse, and Queen of Wands in reverse. At the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Cups upright. I'll move that over here. I'll talk about that at the end of the reading. Okay, Gemini, we'll have a first little reading across here. So, Knight of Cups. So, these people are interested in finding love. Not always totally realistic about what kind of love they're after. But usually on a real mission to find love. Okay? Here we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So this is happy times, sufficient money to have good times with your family, and it's in reverse. So perhaps things are not going quite as well as you'd hoped for. Perhaps particularly leading up to Christmas that you were hoping that you might be in a more affluent situation. Queen of Swords. This is somebody who seeks and speaks the truth. She's totally in her element. She knows the truth when she sees it. She won't tolerate any nonsense. No good trying to lie to the Queen of Swords. She's in reverse, so perhaps you need to find your truth. We've got here the 8 of Cups. So this person has turned their back on everything. They're no longer happy with the things that are near them and they're walking away. They're under the night sky, so perhaps they're in a very dark place. But it's in reverse, so perhaps that's coming to an end. Here this signifies an ending. The 10 of Swords is almost always indicative of an ending. Sometimes it can be a painful ending, but usually it's the last little remnants of something that's about to happen. So in this case, we have the recent past, the present, and the near future. And these cards are the sort of in-between stage. The bottom layer tends to be the things that are not really up in your conscious mind all the time. So they help to clarify the ones on top. Now I'll lay out the next layer of cards, and we'll talk about them again, and then after that I'll pull them together for you, Gemini. Okay. Let's clarify the Knight of Cups. There we go. Ace of Swords. Okay, new idea coming in. Speaking the truth. A legal matter perhaps. Let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles for Gemini. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, upright. You clarify the Queen of Swords, please, for Gemini. Queen of Swords for Gemini. And this can be about messages because she's got a little bird up here, so sometimes there are messages coming in. But usually this woman is, the Queen is somebody who's fully in her element and seeking the truth and speaking the truth. Okay, Prince of Cups. So he's the same here as the Knight of Cups. Can we clarify the 8 of Cups, please, for Gemini? Clarify the 8 of Cups for Gemini, please. Okay, Ace of Cups in reverse. It's interesting, you've got the Ace of Cups at the end here. So Some emotions that are perhaps not going, feeling a bit emotional here, coming up in the near future. We'll check that out as we go along. Can we clarify the Ten of Swords, please, for Gemini? Ten of Swords for Gemini. Okay, Ten of Swords in reverse. There you go. Can we clarify the Seven of Wands, please, for Gemini? Seven of Wands. This card usually speaks about the need to defend yourself. It's in reverse, so we'll talk about that later. Perhaps it's just a feeling of needed to defend yourself. Let's have a look. Three of Wands. It's come out in reverse too. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles for Gemini. Okay, the Emperor. Very powerful person, an authority figure. Somebody who has full and total control. Somebody who can be a little bit arrogant. But they're clothed in armour, they're very secure and solid. Can we clarify the Wheel of Fortune, please? In reverse for Gemini. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune for Gemini in reverse, please. Okay, Queen of Cups upright. We clarify the Nine of Swords, please, for Gemini. Okay, Seven of Cups. That's in reverse. That's wishful thinking, wishing that you could have something different perhaps. Sometimes it's fantasy. Can we clarify the Queen of Wands, please, for Gemini? Queen of Wands in reverse for Gemini, please. Queen of Wands for Gemini, please, in reverse. Okay, the Fool. So the commencement of a new journey. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Princess of Swords in reverse. There she is, Princess of Swords. I'll put that over there too. Okay, let's have a little look at what you've got on the table. I'll start talking about the swords over here because this immediately comes to me. So definitely here, in the near future, something is coming to an end. There could be a possible delay, but something is definitely coming to an end. I think there's some sad emotions preceding that, possible some disappointments. And here also, probably maybe worries, nightmares, fears, exhaustion. And this card in reverse, this is, I always talk about this as pie in the sky. Pie in the sky because you can't always have everything you wish for. Everything comes at a price. If you choose one direction and you get one thing, you may not be able to get the other. And this can be just sort of wishing for everything and maybe not being able to get all of it, or maybe not even be able to get any of it. This is fears and worries and anxieties, and attached here with some emotions that are, cup signifies emotions, so it looks like there's been some disappointment, some emotional upsets here, and that's coming in the near future because this is the present. So we'll have a look a little bit further. Here we've got the Queen of Wands. Now she's usually a highly fertile and creative person. She can manifest whatever she wants. She's fully in her element if you are, say, a designer or an artist. This is a good card for you to have. It just shows you that you're fully in your element and you're capable of executing your desires. She's in reverse here, so it could just mean a delay, or perhaps a project that you were hoping to start is going to be delayed. And at the very end, you have a new journey. A journey that is carefree and perhaps you haven't thought about very much, or hoping for a new situation to turn up and wanting to start a new journey. This is considered the Fool card. Now he has a companion animal here. Now some people say that he's being pushed off the cliff, and others say that he's warning him to be careful where he's going. He's not looking at where he's placing his feet, so I always think it's a little bit of a start of a new journey that perhaps you haven't researched thoroughly, and that perhaps you need to do a little bit more research about where you're going and what you want. Let's have a look at the recent past. So the initial card that came out is the Knight of Cups, and that moves reasonably rapid. He's on a horse, so therefore it is quite a strong desire for some new love, or a feeling of love. It may not be totally realistic, but it has approached you in the recent past. So, and also you've got here the Ace of Swords. So that is clear thinking, using your intellect, making a breakthrough. It could even be the commencement of a legal matter. So anything legal that can pertain to you, that could be, you could be getting a speeding ticket in the post. You could be applying for a mortgage. You could be, it could be anything to do with legal documents. But it's also clear thinking, a bright idea, a very clever idea. It's down the bottom here, so you've got the Seven of Wands. That's defending yourself, or a feeling of needing to defend yourself. You can see the people are poking sticks at him, perhaps a feeling of, you may not always actually need to defend yourself as much as you think you do. He has a very large stick that he's wielding there, so he does feel like he's in command of his stick, and that he's able to defend himself. The fact that he's got many attacks happening at once is a little bit difficult, but so this one's in reverse. So perhaps you've recently had to defend yourself. Three of Wands often speaks about creative ideas that have gone beyond the initial stage. So if you've had an idea, you've started to do the research on what's required, and you've taken the next step and perhaps started a new project, perhaps, registered a new business, thought about the finances, how you're going to do it, thought about who's going to do the work and how it's going to be executed. And this is a possibility even of travel overseas. Again, there's a bit of a delay perhaps attached to the commencement of a project, and perhaps you've come up with an idea that somebody else has already had, and that maybe they're defending their territory, perhaps you have to defend your territory. Okay, here we have this row here is a little bit different. So this is the approaching the present time. So this also could be in the recent past, or it could be just approaching you now. You've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles is having sufficient funds to be able to do all the things you want. Often refers to more of a sort of a retirement. You've got family there, you've got the dogs there, you've got your home, everything's secure. It can be your values being secure, your finances being secure, perhaps you're worried about your family security and your finances. But then the Nine of Pentacles appears on top. Now the Nine of Pentacles is about, usually this lady here, she has her independent wealth. She's worked hard for what she's got. Money didn't rain down from the sky on her. She has her independent wealth. She's secured herself. She now has sufficient funds to look after herself. She has authority and power and respect, but that's because she's worked for the money, and she didn't just fall into a money pit, so to speak. She has her castle behind her, and she's in lovely grounds, and she has beautiful clothing. She has a bird here who's a symbol of authority as well. So authority and respect, money. So that looks, you know, perhaps you were hoping for more, but it looks fairly good there to have that money coming towards you here. The Emperor, usually a person who is in authority. Now this could be a bank manager, it could be the government. Usually somebody with power, you know, your boss of a big corporation, somebody who's quite powerful, somebody who's almost untouchable, as you can see by the suit of armour. So somehow or another you've had an encounter with a person of this type. Now, considering it's underneath the money thing, it could be a bank manager perhaps. You've got the Queen of Pentacles. She's got full command of her money and her finances and her values. She knows what she wants, knows how to get it, and she's sitting very comfortably. You've got the Prince of Cups twice, so you've got the Prince of Cups here. You've got it in the present as well, so perhaps the Prince of Cups has just arrived. Some emotional thing that's made you feel happy, I assume. And it could be money coming in if you've been having to defend yourself here, or the need to defend yourself. Perhaps you've encountered some money coming in somehow. Maybe at the end of a settlement, a legal settlement, or money that was owed to you somehow. That's possible. So here, this desire for new love, or desire for emotional fulfilment, shall I say, and that has the Queen of Swords below it. Now she is upright. She knows what she wants, she knows what she thinks, she knows what you think. She has great intuition, great knowledge, great wisdom, and she's in a position of power. If she chooses to cut you off from something, she will cut you off. So if she feels that you're not doing the right thing by her, she'll have no hesitation of cutting you off. So be careful if you're dealing with someone like that. It's no good wearing your heart on your sleeve with somebody like this. They're only interested in the truth. Here we go. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is sort of inevitability, the way that the world has a way of turning the circumstances in your favour and then not in your favour. And sometimes in your favour, and again, sometimes not in your favour. And that is kind of the way everybody experiences the world. Sometimes are good, sometimes are more difficult. But here you've got the Queen of Cups upright. So this is a woman who's fulfilled, happy, loving, gentle, nurturing. She knows what she wants in the way of emotion. She knows she wants all the love. She doesn't want a little piece of love. She wants a decent piece of love. She wants true love. She wants honest love. And she knows how to give it. So you've gone from the Prince of Cups to the Queen of Cups, and then to the Ace of Cups, but the Ace of Cups is in reverse. So the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Cups upright usually refers to happy times and an outpouring of love and affection, and that's in reverse. So perhaps in the near future, going from this happy state to perhaps a little bit of a backward step, or a step that you feel is not as peaceful and loving as you'd hoped it to be. It looks like you're turning your back on something, or you would like to turn your back on something. Now the other thing is that there's a possibility that because you've got two Prince of Cups, that perhaps your ideas about love are maybe unrealistic. Perhaps you want too much. Perhaps you want more than your partner can give. And you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps, but you know you've got the Queen of Cups, that's pretty good. You've also got Queen of Pentacles, so You've got the 2 queens here. That's looking pretty good, leaving you in a fairly strong position, I'd say. So whatever you're walking away from, that could be sort of, you know, you've got the 7 of Cups below, you've got the worry, and you've got you turning your back and emotions. So all of these cards kind of they're all in reverse. So these can be worries and fears, or even sort of expectations that are perhaps a little bit too high. You know, we say if you don't have any expectations, you don't have any disappointment. And most of us do have expectations, therefore nearly all of us have disappointment. So this, in the near future, it looks like some sort of disappointment here. Worries and fears, that's all in your head space. This is all heart space stuff, feeling that perhaps life is not fulfilling for you, feeling like you need to walk away, turn your back on everything. Think about that carefully, because that could be a sort of an illusion that, do you know what I mean? It could like be a fantasy, like this kind of a card. The idea of, sometimes it's just the idea of walking away that gives you sort of a sense of freedom. You don't actually always have to do it. And here, thinking about something that's causing you some grief, some pain, some exhaustion, some total weariness, and dreaming about things that perhaps you would like to have. But in this case, I actually think perhaps this is more sort of wishful thinking, fantasies. Don't give yourself a headache and heartache over fantasies that are unrealistic. You know, it doesn't achieve anything for you to be unrealistic. Here something is coming to an end. You've got the 10 of Swords, definitely an ending. It can be a painful ending, but the fact that you've got it twice, even though one's in reverse, I'm just going to say that that's confirmation that there's something ending. Light on the horizon, beginning of a new path, and you've got the Fool here, which is exactly confirmation that you are starting a new journey. And you've also got the Queen of Wands here. So again, I think this is a new project you're going to be starting. And I think that you've had the ideas back here, and you've started back here in your recent past. You've started on that journey. There's some delays here in obtaining your full command of control, perhaps, in your creative project. But here you've definitely started. It looks like you've needed to defend a little bit of territory, perhaps, or defend yourself against somebody else, perhaps, who's got the same idea or the same business near where you are. That's a possibility. But here is starting the new journey. The only thing I will say, if you're starting a new journey, be realistic. Look, you know, sort of have a look on the ground in front of you before you take a step and fall off the cliff or step into a big pothole, because that'll only cause you a setback. It's better to pause a little while, perhaps. Maybe this is a little bit of an indication to, as the ending comes, to stop for a minute, have a little bit of a think, get into your head and sort of analyse what it is you want to do before you take this next big step. Now here you've got this happiness card at the end. So you've got the Ace of Cups twice in your reading, and in this case it's upright. So this is a lovely outcome. This is the overall feeling of the reading. The overall feeling of the reading is that you're probably wishing for emotional happiness, stability, peaceful times. It's got the dove on the top, so peaceful times, emotional stability and peaceful times. Happy times usually with that card. The fact that it's in reverse here could be as a result of perhaps disillusionment somehow. I'm getting a sense of disillusionment here. And you've got the Princess of Wands in reverse. So that indicates too that there's a little bit of a setback perhaps in something that you've started here at the beginning. So I do think you've probably had a great idea right at the beginning here in the recent past. Something you thought would make you quite happy. You've commenced the project. It feels like you've had to do a little bit of a battle to get it started. Looks like, though, you've got it started. Your finances look like somehow you've got your finances sorted out, and it looks to me like you've had to deal with some authority figure here. But this is all money here. Basically, even the emperor, the emperors are not known to be poor, so I assume this is all money in the recent past. Could be a bank manager involved. Perhaps you've had to approach a bank manager, but it looks like you've got your money. So, Prince of Cups. Here you've got 2 Princes of Cups. Try not to be unrealistic, Gemini, in your expectations of how happy something will make you feel. It's kind of like starting a new project. Sometimes you think, if I get this new project started, I'll be so happy. And then you discover that you have to work, 14 hours a day. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm happy, but I didn't realise I'd have to work so hard. So this one, I think, is probably a message of some sort of a legal message, or the resolution of a legal matter, perhaps. And again, and it could be a warning to you also to make sure you're thinking clearly, to be analytical, to have critical thinking, to be careful to make the cuts in the right places if you need to make a cut of some sort. And the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is telling me that perhaps there's a delay in the time that you're trying to get things moving. But here she is, a Queen of Cups. You've got 2 queens right next to one another, so that's a good sign. I think, your emotional cup must be fairly full at the moment. And it looks a little bit like here there's some sort of disappointment, wishful thinking, and then here an ending of some sort. And your creative project looks like it's growing, because you've started down here with the lower numbers and you're moving up to the higher numbers here. So it does look like your creative project is taking off. There may be some little bit of delay as you're starting your new journey. And you're hoping for a peaceful outcome, and a peaceful and a happy outcome. I hope that makes sense to you, Gemini. The cards are fairly clear, I think. This ending may feel painful, may not. The Ten of Swords is always just about an ending, something coming to an end. It could also mean changing a house, but it could be the end of a legal matter. Could be the end of some problems you've had that have caused you, worry and anxiety, but definitely an ending there and a new beginning. So that's a good thing. And the Queen of Wands in reverse, just make sure if you've started a new project that you do take the time to not just be emotional and excited about something, but you take care of the detail. The business side of it. Make sure you've got your business side in order. But all in all, it looks quite good. You're starting a new journey, and that's always fun anyway. So you're under the sun. Looks carefree, happy. Just be a little bit guarded about where you place your feet and how quickly you take off. Do your homework, and you should have a great time. You should have a new adventure. So that's pretty exciting for you, Gemini. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.